And yet, you pay the price.
I don't think I can. I'm sure you can find them.
You look strong enough to man a forge.
Won't cost you a shard just to look. Would you like to buy something today?
A fine day ahead.
Would you like to buy something today?
Take a look at these wares.
You there. Outlander, do you have relics to trade?
Would you like to buy something today?
Don't pass up these guys.
You'll regret not stopping when you're in the... Check out the...
You'll like what I have to say, I promise.
Come take a look. I'll give you a good price. The longer this split with the Shadow Foundry lasts, the more prices will go up.
Buy what you
Only
need,
the
leave
finest
the
goods
rest.
here. See for yourself.
Yes. I remember you. Did you find the vessels I seek? Yes, yes. Trade quickly. I have work to do. I will leave you to the hunt. Ah, you're everything I'm not. Strong, brave, active. Come, talk a spell.
Looking good.
Find better wares.
A moment of your time, Outlander? Ah, you're back. Did you bring me something lovely? Ah, let us haggle over this beautiful bounty. Till we meet again, my noble Nora. Could you spare a moment to speak of the finer things?
Tell you, Osram know how to fool. Tell you what I like.
Take a look at these
Buy
wares.
what you need. Need be. Find.
It's for a fair price.
You stay here, the more it'll feel like home.
You wouldn't be so eager to see what it works.
Food, wine, men, women. Meridian caters to every taste, every desire.
See for yourself. Take a look at these wares. Don't forget to stock up before you're on the road.
Take a look at these.
Stood for generations.
What can I do for you today? How are the trials going for you? Have enough marks for a weapon yet?
I believe I have enough here. What next?
You brought in all the sun marks at once. You're going to make a lot of hunters jealous. Not that it takes much. I'm pleased to present to you a Lodge Blast Sling, a Lodge Ropecaster, and the Lodge Warbow. Congratulations, you're a master hunter of the Lodge. All I can give you now is encouragement.
Every time I have a quiet moment, I wind up thinking about my cousins in Sunfall. Turn it all tired. I've worked enough to last a lifetime.
Talana, always a pleasure. I see you've brought your pet.
Greetings, Sunhawk. I hereby sponsor Aloy of the Nora for membership in the Hunter's Lodge.
No. Look at her. She's lowborn, a savage. This is beneath even you, Talana.
She has fulfilled the requirements. And Sun King Avad decreed the Lodge should be open to all. Would you like to take it up with him?
The word of the Sun King is indeed law. Even though it will bring ruin to the Lodge, so be it. Do you, Aloy of the Nora, pledge to act rightly and nobly when in service to the Lodge all the days to follow?
I do.
Members of the Lodge, even though Tarkus is barely cold, I present to you Aloy of the Nora. Member and Thrush, what say you all?
To the hunt!
Sponsoring an outlander. While you make meaningless gestures, I'll be finding Red Maw.
Oseram is building a mansion that will block my view.
This is a good day.
I know why I hate Assis. Why do you?
My family has always boasted members in the Lodge. My father and brother were both Hawks. Assis let their sacrifice be forgotten.
What sacrifice?
They died in the massacre. They should be honored as Hawks. Instead, Assis will not let anyone mention it.
What happened in the massacre?
King Duran's paranoia knew no bounds. He sent thousands of innocents to die in the Sun Ring. When the Hawks of the Lodge called for him to stop the slaughter, he threw them in the ring too. Yet when the machines attacked the condemned, more Hawks leapt into the ring to defend them. And my father and brother were among them.
I'm so sorry. How did your family come to be members of the Lodge?
Karja noble houses have sent sons to the Lodge for generations. Because they needed another place to lord over the commoners. I want to change that. The idea that someone is worthy or not by virtue of birth alone. Everyone thinks they have me pegged as soon as they hear Talana Khan Padish. I hate that.
I understand. My whole life I lived as an outcast from the Nora. They would have been the first to say I wasn't one of them. One calls me Aloy of the Nora. It should be Aloy despite the Nora.
I didn't know. I'll remember that.
What happened to the men in the Sun Ring?
They died fighting. If you wish to hear the story, Legan can tell it better. He saw it with his own eyes. I did not. The morning of the massacre, my father told me to meet him outside the city. He told me they were planning an escape. I waited for hours until a message came from my father. I had to leave the city. So I fled when I should have fought by his side.
He didn't want you to die with them.
Nor would he want their names forgotten. Especially by the man who benefited most from their deaths, Assis.
What's Redmaw?
Few have seen it. A thunderjaw marked by years of battle. Some say it still bears the marks of over a dozen hunters on its flank. How many it has trampled along the way, we may never know. When members go hunting and never return, we often blame Redmaw. But to me, it's more than legend. It's the only machine that will unseat Assis. My sponsor nearly had it, but he didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
Tarkus sponsored me out of loyalty to my family. He was my last link to them, besides the lodge itself. I have to unseat Assis. Now that you're a Thrush, you should improve your reputation. Why don't you hunt down a Thunderjaw and a Stormbird?
You want me to go trophy hunting?
You're not just any Thrush. You're mine. And you better make me look good.
But what about Redmaw?
I will find him. And when I do, I expect you to be there.
That's a load off. I've got a lot on my mind, sorry.
You don't fool me with your nice clothes. You're still an outlander.
2 new thrushes in one day. Makes a hawk proud.
Who else just became a Thrush?
Arctic. I see him rising to the top very quickly. He reminds me of myself at his age.
What will you say when I bring in a Thunderjaw trophy?
That's a wonderful goal. Perhaps you can have Arctic give you some tips.
Do you know where Redmaw is?
I do not. Rumor of it spreads quickly within the lodge. As soon as it is spotted, it disappears again.
Can you tell me what happened during the massacre?
A terrible time. King Jiran purged loyal subjects and traitors alike throughout the Sundom. He even called out members of our lodge.
Why?
Some spoke out against the killing. And when the soldiers came for them, we all objected. And for that crime, those who were not arrested were forced to watch our comrades murdered in the Sun Ring. I shouldn't say more.
Please, tell me what happened that day in the Sun Ring.
Normally, victims of the Sun Ring fell within minutes as the crowd cheered their deaths. But not with our hawks. They stood alone against wave after wave of machines. Hours passed, the men taking turns fighting as the others rested. The crowd's mood turned, rallying around our men. Some of them left, their bloodlust unsated. We members stayed, watched till nightfall.
What happened in the Sun Ring at nightfall?
The sun had set, and only firelight and the glow from the machines lit the ring. It was then the court released a behemoth. Several hawks at once jumped into the ring to fight alongside the condemned. They had snuck in their weapons. I wish I had as well. The machine didn't discriminate. It crashed into the stand, devastating spectator and fighter alike. It was a slaughter.
And how did the battle in the Sun Ring come to an end?
Talana's father climbed atop a behemoth and with one well-placed spear destroyed it, just as a second knocked him to his death. Her brother and the others fought this second behemoth, falling one by one as they put themselves between the beast and the stands. And so we and the spectators were saved. Those who had once cheered for their deaths thanked the dying men for their very lives.
What a brave end. And how terrible that no one speaks of it.
I must say I'm surprised by your achievements. Bringing in a stalker already.
Save your surprise. I'm just getting started.
It's you. It's you.
So you're a thrush too now, but you've only gotten a stalker trophy while I've already bagged a Thunderjaw. I ain't done well enough. It's probably better for you to stop now, you know, before you tackle something you can't handle. So you're a thrush too now, but you've only gotten a stalker trophy while I've already bagged a Thunderjaw. I ain't done well enough. It's probably better for you to stop now, you know, before you tackle something you
I was
can't
always
handle.
rooting for you.
I've been waiting years to get a sponsor, and you... Congratulations.
By the sun, you're a member now. Think you can give me any tips?
Makes me glad when we can welcome a new thrush. That Arctic seems like he'll go places.
Days I'm going to take a hop.
Able-bodied adventurers, preferably with no friends or family.
You again. I never forget a face I've lost shards to.
Look out below!
May the sun favor you as it favored me with your arrival.
Naman is returned, his pilgrim's wounds solved. Truly you are sun-touched.
So, this is the Temple of the Sun Priests.
Where we offer our daily prayers for balance. I'm afraid only Karja can participate, but you are welcome to observe.
Don't worry, I'm used to it. What are these prayers?
To recognize the sun is to recognize we live in renewal. By its rise and fall, we determine what to take up and what to set aside. Offered to its pure heat, the skin peels, and old time is burned away. We treasure the blisters.
That sounds painful.
Well, there is no glory without sacrifice.
The temple looks out on the tower across the valley. Why?
Ah, that's the spire, guiding us forever skyward, gleaming with the rays of the sun at noon. It is said that the spire's shadow lay across this mesa when our ancestors came to the valley, searching for a home. Thus, sun and spire joined, showing the Karja where to build. The dawn of Meridian.
Always illuminating, Nereid.
May your tread be as sure as the sun's rising.
The sun shines on those who mind their own, so they say.
Nothing for you.
So many come to the Sundom and can't be bothered to
I met a Nora when I was a child.
We didn't see her.
All I remember is how heavy her bow was. Nowhere in the Sundom will be safe from corruption. Nowhere in the world. We're the closest to the sun in Meridian. Why live anywhere else? Good day. Don't forget to stock up before you go to finest goods, I promise. Well, see for yourself.
I have a matter of grace and beauty I would like to discuss with you.
These aren't goods. Won't find better wear.
What I have for sale, I promise.
I'm tired. I've worked
Only the finest goods here. See for yourself. This sun. Can't see the steel for the glare.
careful talking to strangers. Remember to steal, they want some.
It's always the ones you least expect that cause you trouble.
Meridian. Couldn't imagine living anywhere else. No, I'm awake. And alert. Damn it.
May the sunlight...
I've sent a messenger to the claim to let everyone know.
If there's anything you or your clan need for her arrangements, you need but ask.
There'll be time for all of that later.
Aloy. I'm glad you're back. I'm at a loss about Ursa. To learn she lives, then lose that hope, seems cruel.
She wouldn't want us to waste time talking. She'd want us to find Dervahl. She said he raved about smoke darkening the sun. Tell him what you found in his papers.
A letter. It mentioned a shipment of blaze being sent to a warehouse here. Only, it wasn't addressed to Dervahl. The name was Ayland Forgeman. Does that mean anything to you?
Sounds familiar. Yes, a landlord. The Oseram have been buying up buildings across the city, including one under that name. Let me think. It's by the edge of the mesa, near the temple. It used to be a shop, but it could serve as a warehouse. If Dervahl used the name as an alias to buy it, he might even be there now.
I'll round up my men.
I'll meet you there.
Erend, wait. Remember that no one hates Dervahl more than your own tribe. The clans would give up much to obtain him.
Take him alive? So you can haggle over him? You can't be serious.
Our security depends on keeping the peace. If the opportunity presents itself, take him alive. Consider that a command. Aloy, a moment, please. When we spoke, Erend didn't wish to dwell on the details of Ursa's death. Understandable, of course. But now that they've been left to my imagination, those details are all I can think about. You were there. Did she suffer?
She's not the one who's suffering now. You are. She died before you could say goodbye.
Is it that obvious? You're right. I'm dwelling on my pain, not just hers. And there's only one thing left that can help. Find Dervahl and bring him before me. He will answer for his crimes. Don't let me delay you any longer. Meet Erend at the warehouse.
I work hard every day.
Let's have a chat. No, a colorful discussion.
Able-bodied adventurers, preferably with no friends or family, but I'm not choosy.
This is the place? You home, Dervahl? I got a surprise for you!
Or he has a surprise for us.
Is it a bomb? Doesn't look too big.
Big enough to kill us.
All right. I'll shut up. That's a lot of blaze.
If that bomb downstairs goes off, it'll be just what Dervahl promised. Smoke will darken the sun. As the city goes up in flames, there's gotta be a way to stop it. Blaze. It must be leaking from something upstairs. If I try to take it apart, a booby trap will set it off. If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller. If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller. If that bomb goes off, the blaze will ignite in a firestorm.
So, is that thing gonna go off? The thing is, I'm not a big fan of bombs. Especially being near them. Will we get any warning before it, blows us to smithereens?
It's a bomb, all right. Well crafted. If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller.
So, is that thing gonna go off? If we can get rid of it somehow, the blast will be much smaller.
Looks like a wooden bracket. Not very strong. Help me push this out.
Okay. Brute force, I'm good at that. What'll it do?
Save the city, I hope. But when the blaze falls, run for it. Because the booby trap on the bomb downstairs is gonna get set off.
Will we survive?
Probably not. Now push.
We did it! Dervahl's best shot, and Meridian's still standing.
This isn't over. Dervahl said he'd make a Vought watch.
No way. To do that, he'd have to get into the palace, and that's too heavily guarded.
Get back there, just to be sure. I'm gonna look around. Maybe Dervahl's men left something behind when they planted that bomb.
I got it. Don't worry. He tries for the palace. He's finished.
Boot tracks, with just a bit of blaze in them.
Call the guards. There could be explosions elsewhere.
No one was inside the warehouse.
Why did that warehouse explode?
A warehouse destroyed in an instant!
Did that
A warehouse destroyed in an instant!
Can
An
I
explosion.
interest you in a reasonable share of a lucrative opportunity?
We are paying. What happened?
I haven't heard a blast like that since the liberation.
So many come to the Sundom and can't be bothered to work. But you don't seem like the rest.
Could you spare a moment to speak of the finer things?
Always stay bright, always stay alert. That's what I say.
Oh, hello.
There's smoke rising from the edge of the mesa. Are we under attack? My mother told me to steer clear about that. You wouldn't be so eager to speak with me.
The tracks lead inside. Another one of Dervahl's hideouts. Must be where Dervahl assembled the detonator. He tunneled through the wall. Dervahl did find a way into the palace.
wish I could be there to see the sun god on his knees.
Quit carping, you chuff.
Looks like we're in. Keep that for later.
Look at you, Avad. The wriggling runt of a maniac king. You robbed me of my right to kill your father, so I'll have to settle for you. I'm going to enjoy watching the Karja burn, even more because you'll be watching with me. Say goodbye to Meridian, Avad. Breathe in the stench, and choke on the ashes. Something's wrong. It didn't... I didn't hear anything.
There's a bit of smoke rising from the mesa's edge.
No! It should be a firestorm, not some belch from a charcoal burner!
Full already.
What's this? Oh. You must be the Nora who bushwhacked my camp.
And disabled your bomb.
Did you now? Well, bomb or no bomb, I'm gonna splatter that throne with blood. First yours, then Avad's.
Incoming!
We finish this. I've got a sun god to kill. I led an army. Trolls and ravagers. A savage is nothing. Why does Avad always have his ladies do the fighting? Can we finish this? I've got a sun god to kill. Why does Avad always have his ladies do the fighting? I've led an army, killed kestrels and tarantulas, which is nothing. led an army. Killed kestrels and ravagers. A savage is nothing. Why does always have his ladies do that? Can we finish this? I've got a thousand to kill. Finish this! I've led an army. Killed kestrels and ravagers. A savage is nothing. You're starting to irritate me. It's not over yet, Nora. Any good Oseram tinker will tell you. Always have a third plan.
They know I'm here now.
Those majestic, murderous flinthawks! I hope you like fighting these things, because there's more on the way! Never do the work if you can get a machine to do it for you.
As much as I wish Ursa was here to kill you, I don't mind doing it for her.
Go ahead. I'm not afraid. Except that knowing you, Aaron, you'll screw it up!
I know what you are afraid of. Going back to Mainspring in chains. Every clan in the claim wants you dead. And they know how to make it hurt. They'll even bid for the privilege.
It's just like you to get someone else to do your killing.
Shut up! You're at the Sun King's mercy now.
Oseram will spend weeks making a contraption to do a job the Carja could crack in a day.
My mother told me to steer clear of Outlanders, but you seem friendly enough. Easy work, keeping the city safe. I say.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
It would crush me with a flick of its tail.
Come to gloat, Nora. Well, as you can see, busy. I get it. You want to rub it in? Well, it's not working. Ha ha! It's funny to pester the tinker in the cage. What a laugh. You think that bit of scrap on your brow makes you smart? I'll bet you couldn't have taken apart my bomb without it. Think I'm done? Think again. I've gotten out of worse scrapes. While the lunkheads in Mainspring dither over how to kill me, I'll dig myself out. Just you wait. When I get out of here, I'm gonna plant a Thunderjaw lure in your bedroom. Gotta admit, it burns me that a savage tracked me down. Most Nora get confused by anything more than 2 sticks and a string. Don't you have something better to do? Like choke on a lance horn. You think that spear of yours is so fancy, but I could craft it blindfolded during a quick nap. Riding machines? Am I supposed to be impressed? Get one to serve me lunch, then I'll take notice. You're like a burr in a boot, you know that? Just so irritating. Hammer to steel. I hate you. Someday, I'm gonna build a machine with the specific purpose of pulling your braids out. By the great flaming forge, just leave me alone, Red.
Only the finest kids here.
A moment of your time, Outlander?
Witnesses, but
Aloy. I was just thinking about Ursa. She would have killed Dervahl on the spot. I know it. That's why she went out to meet him in the first place, to put him down. But she also told me to grow up. I gotta admit it burned a little when she said that, but I'm trying to take it to heart. And I guess growing up means putting what you should do in front of what you want to do. Right?
You're asking me? I'm pretty sure you're older.
Yeah, but I don't act like it, do I?
You did with Dervahl.
Don't give me too much credit. Part of me still wants to wait for a quiet moment and wring his neck.
Yeah, but you won't. Because you're a good captain.
Come on, stop. You're gonna make me tear up.
What do you think the Oseram will do to Dervahl?
First off, they'll argue about it for a long time. But whatever they come up with, it won't be quick. I can live with that. In fact, I might just drop by his cell under the sun ring to remind him what's coming.
So, after all this, what's next for errand vanguardsman?
Heading back to the claim for a while. I'll get in touch with my clan and we'll lay Ursa to rest properly. Like how she would have wanted. And by that I mean less chit-chat, more drinking.
Well...
I know, you gotta go. Killers to track, machines to master, all before breakfast. You know what? When we met, I thought I was a big shot talking to a pretty girl hidden away in the middle of nowhere. And now I see that I was just lucky to get a minute of your time. Try not to forget about me while you're out there changing the world.
I'll always have a minute for you. Maybe even 2.
2? Huh. She likes me.
Aloy, to say you have my gratitude feels woefully insufficient. You saved my life. You saved Meridian. And because of you, there will be justice for Ursa's murder. We can mourn her knowing the truth, without painful uncertainty. It's hard to imagine where we'd be without you. And I don't want to try. I hope you will consider staying in Meridian.
Why do you want me to stay in Meridian?
I would think that would be obvious.
Not to me.
Huh. Well, to start with, you kept the city from going up in flames. You were strong, shrewd, and capable. I could use someone like you at my side.
It might be worth taking a moment to examine what you just said. You just lost Ursa, a woman who stood at your side and could easily be described as strong, shrewd, and capable. It's pretty clear how you felt about her. And now you're asking me to take her place. Is this a job offer or a proposition?
By the sun, you do indeed share much with Ursa. Including a withering eye for foolishness. Please, accept my apologies. Seems I'm getting ahead of myself. I need some time to resolve my feelings. I will be forever grateful to you, Aloy. And in time, I'd like to get to know you better. Shall we leave it at that, then?
What exactly will happen to Dervahl?
For now, he'll languish in one of the old cells under the Sun Ring here in Meridian. As for what happens after we negotiate his extradition to Mainspring, I don't want to think about it. My father was very creative when it came to inflicting suffering. But some Oseram devices surpass even his imaginings. What a waste. Dervahl is a brilliant man. I wonder what he would have accomplished if it weren't for my father's cruelty.
I know who attacked the Nora. A faction of Shadow Karja called the Eclipse. They're digging up ancient machines, weapons they want to use to strike Meridian.
I see. What you're saying echoes whispers I've heard from Murad. A Shadow Karja splinter group, corrupted machines across the land. When will the attack come, do you know?
I'm not sure yet.
And we will do what we can to prepare. Keep me informed if you learn more. Shall we talk some more?
Were you and Ursa, you know?
I suppose it's obvious how I feel. How I felt about her. She didn't just give me advice. She gave me strength. But we couldn't be together. Relations between the Karja and Oseram and Meridian were unsteady as it was. The union of the Sun King and an Oseram warrior would have led to open revolt in the city. And probably war with the clans.
Did anyone know?
Only one. Dervahl. He wanted Ursa, but she rejected him. And so jealousy became yet another of his hateful motivations.
I have to go.
I understand.
It's always the ones you least expect that cause you trouble. Meridian survives thanks to a long line of nobility. Don't you forget it.
Fire and spit. What do you want from me? I've had about enough of the Karja. Make no mistake. The vanguard of our positions in the Sun.
Regardless of the rest, our crafty old days. You wouldn't be so eager to speak with me on the word. Soldiers await orders just inside the main.
You'll regret not stopping when you're in the thick of it. Come take a look. I'll give you a...
Check out these wares.
Yes, you're very friendly.
Just a little.